3 weeks into the season, 2 wins and a loss. How do you evaluate the team's performances through 3?
Good. I thought one of our goals was to be better at home and be more difficult to play against at home and really take the initiative, and that was a good thing. Obviously, one of the things we want to do at the same time is be better on the road in terms of just not have silly mistakes that I think kind of robbed us of hard work last year on the road. With that being said, we didn't get a result on the road, but I think if we're going to be in games like that for the majority, and I think we're going to admit to ourselves that it wasn't our best performance, but I think we'll be okay. So I always like to try to stay positive and look at positive things. So, and those are the one we're focused on.
Well, now you got LAFC, who were took home the hardware last year. What do you make of everything that they bring into town?
Yeah, I mean they had a phenomenal year. Congrats to them. They deservedly won MLS Cup, I thought, and they have a lot of weapons. I think they did, to me, from the outside looking in, they're not content, and that's a scary thing. They want to keep going and get more, and with all the improvements they made to their squad, even more young guys that are very capable. Dangerous team, good service, guys who make good runs and can feed off those good services, and that's why they're scoring a lot of goals in games, so we'll have to be ready for that.
Were you able to watch the Champions League game last night? So when you look at their movement this year compared to last year, obviously they have a couple pieces out, a couple pieces in. Does anything strike you as different from how they use their new pieces?
I mean, every game is different, right? But in games like, especially I would say the away game that they played in the first leg in CONCACAF, I remember them being very good on the press and forcing turnovers and capitalizing on that. Always have good service as well. They still have all that, but they're also capable of manufacturing goals out of possession, I think. So that shows it's a well-balanced team. It's a team that has tons of quality. So give them all the respect because they're a good side.
Nuhu signs a 3-year contract extension. How important is that to have him on your back line for the next few years at least?
Great. He's been here for a while, and I think I've seen him mature throughout the years. It's taken a while, but he's finally getting there. But I think it's nice to see someone who's been with the team for a while and has been loyal to the team get rewarded. I'm happy that he's all smiles, and obviously it also takes the worries off of him about his future, and now he can go about his business and show what he's capable of.
You mentioned the word mature there. We asked Brian about what he can get better at in the years to come, and he said maturity. Would you also continue to agree with that?
Yeah, he's got a long ways to go, but I also want to commend him for the progress he's made. So, I think he's always going to be a little boy at heart. I think that's just new. But sometimes, when it comes to decision making, you need to know when that boy needs to stay away and when you just have to be ruthless and clear and precise. And I think he's grown tremendously with that, and I know he knows himself that he can still go some more on that front. But with his exuberance, his athleticism, finding that balance, he's going to be a top player for a long time.
You're one of the leaders on this squad, as there are a number of leaders on this team. Do you have kind of one-on-one chats with him about those things and kind of what you want to see him do more of that as a defender?
Oh, not like that, where I sit him down for an evaluation meeting. I'm a teammate after all, but I try to find players who I feel or I sense respect my opinion, and I try to be productive and constructive with criticism and with positive reinforcement and things like that. That's all I think an opportunity you have as someone who's been there for a long time is to maybe really suss out how do you communicate with each individual, how do they respond to what kind of communication, and then can you help them on to make sure that they're in the right state of mind on the weekend for games. But it's not always that easy, but I try to do it when I can. And obviously, when someone just signs a new contract and is happy, then it's easier to communicate with someone like that, right?
I guess Brian's talked about making the home place a fortress. You guys have yet to concede a goal at home. I know LA's, you've already mentioned the defending champs talking about, but when we talk about making Lumen Field kind of the fortress that you guys have wanted it to be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later we're going to concede a goal, right? We also have to be realistic about that, but it's a really good start because I think it shows the recognition of our errors last year and things that really bugged us, and our commitment to try to solve that. It's never going to always pan out, but if we have that commitment from all 11 players that are on the field for that, then that's going to help us tremendously to try to make that a fortress again. I think in this league you have to make it really, really difficult for teams to take points at your place, and for you to more or less consistently get the points at home, and then go on the road and see if you can make those road trips worth it, and not worth less. Bring something home there, but it has to start with the consistency at home, and so forth.
Really quick, FIFA made news a couple of days ago when they announced what's going on with the Club
congrats.
World Cup. So it sounds like the Sounders will be in the 2025 Club World Cup, but you've talked about how long you want to play, but if you are still around then, to get back to that tournament in a few years, what will that mean to have another shot at that thing?
Yeah, I mean, I truly meant when I said that most likely that was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and here it is, so presenting itself so soon again, if you will. That gives you motivation. I mean, for me, right? Like obviously it's a well-known fact that I love it here. I would like to stay here, but I'm also going to be honest with how I feel and my body feels. And to be honest, I feel really good. I'm not going to say I've never felt better. It takes me longer to get ready. It takes me 40 minutes to get ready for a training, but I'm willing to put those 40 minutes in, and also all the work we've put in the gym. I've never had as much muscle mass in my lower body as I have now. So there's certain things that I've been doing to try to get another chance at something like the Club World Cup, Club World Cup. So hopefully it happens. I'm trying to do everything I can.
You just mentioned the health and kind of where you are now compared to your whole career. How have things been, these last, couple of years after your injury a couple of years ago and everything that went into that? How are you now kind of in terms of the preparation and the health of your body and how you go about the daily process now compared to before that injury?
The injury like 2 years ago?
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't even say injury, but the health situation.
So I mean, that's the thing, right? I've always taken great pride in the fact that I think I fight through injuries very fast, or with no downtime. That one was one where I, blood clot, and that was like 3 months, no ifs, buts, right? I mean, I played the last 3 games with my left oblique torn off my bone, and I played through it. I've done this numerous times, and I take great pride in the fact that I can play, and I can play at a high level through those things. But the older you get, the more you have to really invest a lot of time to make sure that you can bounce back. And there are certain things that smaller things that you cannot shake off. Arthritis and old injuries that flare up. When I had my really bad injury in Toronto, my ankle mobility on the left side will never be the same as on the right. I can do whatever I want. It's just not going to happen. And so those things flare up, but you try everything you can. And if that means in a year or 2 years, I have to be here 60 minutes before training, so be it. I'm willing to do it. I love what I do. I love what I'm able to do with people, with Tommy specifically and the goalkeeping crew. And I'm not ready to have that end there.